Hi, I'm Ross Newham and this is Natural Aesthetics, the YouTube channel dedicated to drug-free bodybuilding. Before I start, if I could ask you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already to see more true natural bodybuilding content, and check out my Instagram page, the link is in the description box below. So in this video I'm going to be showcasing an extremely time-affected method of training. It's called HIT, High Intensity Training. It was first made popular by Arthur Jones and then Mike Mentzer in the early 80s, which went against kind of the grain of training in that era. Then saw a resurgence in the 90s with Dorian Yates and then hasn't really been used since. That being said, it can be an extremely effective way of training, and especially for those that for whatever reason can't or don't want to spend time in the gym more than 20-30 minutes. And this training method is fantastic for those people. You'd be amazed at what you can achieve in that time period if you train correctly. You have to train correctly though, and you have to make sure the intensity is maximised. So if you look at the diagram here, you can see that the relationship between intensity and volume is a scale. You can't max out both at the same time. So we'll use my back row as an example. At 90 kilos I can achieve 10 reps, no more than 10, that's my maximum. So to train with intensity in mind, I have to do 10 reps on one set or more than 10. But on the second set I wouldn't be able to achieve 10 reps because my energy would be insufficient to repeat that workload. So that would be training with intensity in mind. With volume in mind, you might settle at 5 sets of 5 at that same weight, so steering well clear of failure each set. Of course, it allows you to do more reps overall at that weight, but at the cost of time. And if you haven't got the time, then you have to make do 1 or 2 sets, and this is how you do it. So first and foremost, it's best if you can train with a training partner for these particular techniques. And I can go into more techniques that don't rely on a training partner in another video if you'd like. Let me know in the comment section. So basically, your negative portion of the lift, so from when the bar is at my chest to the downwards phase of movement, is the strongest phase of movement. You can handle maybe 25 to 40% more weight than you can on the positive, the pulling motion. So it makes sense to maximise that. We don't ever really see any trainees utilise that anymore in the gym, and it's a really, really effective way of stimulating the muscle. So he's actually pulling down as I'm trying to control the weight back down, and this allows me to train that phase of motion at a higher intensity. So I get the more out of that set than I would do if I were on my own. Then I start to attempt to pause the weight at 3 points at the chest, half weight, and then 3/4 or so on each rep. So I'm doing the positive phase of motion, the negative phase of motion, and then I'm pausing. So I'm pausing statically. So you're doing concentric, eccentric, and isometric, all 3 types of contraction throughout the lift. I'm also using rest pause. So I get to a point where I can't do any more reps. I can't even feel like I can control the weight down properly. So the negative portion, the stronger portion, is starting to fatigue. I then rest for 10 seconds and I try and squeeze 1 or 2 more reps out. So overall, you're probably looking at maybe 7 to 12 reps to pick a weight that is heavy. Without those techniques and without a training partner, you probably wouldn't be able to do more than 4 to 6, maybe 7. I think that's kind of where you need to be for this style of training. Really, really effective, good fun as well, and fantastic for the trainees that don't want to spend hours in the gym. Like I said before, you'd really be amazed at how much you can achieve with 20 to 30 minutes of good, sensible exercise selection and very, very high intensity training in the gym. Just make sure that you warm up thoroughly on that first exercise. I did 3 warm-up sets, getting up to about kind of 80% on that last warm-up set. So hope you enjoyed the video, guys. If you did, then please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to see more, and email naturalaesthetic@outlook.com for more info on online training. Stay strong.